Let me ask you something real. If someone bowed in front of you, would you let them worship you? If you were just a man, would you take that kind of glory? Because all through the Bible, from old to new, the answer is always the same. You don't worship men, you worship God. Acts 10:25-26. When Cornelius bowed to Peter, Peter said, "Stand up. I am only a man myself." He shut it down immediately. Why? Because Peter knew only God deserves worship. Revelation 22:8-9. When the Apostle John tried to worship an angel, even the angel said, "Don't do that. Worship God." Even angels, the mighty messengers of heaven, knew the line that couldn't be crossed. But then we look at Jesus. Part 1. The proof. Let's be clear. Jesus didn't just allow people to worship him, he received it. Matthew 14:33. After calming the storm, those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." No rebuke. John 9:38. The man Jesus healed of blindness said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshipped him. Still no rebuke. In Matthew 28-9, it explains the women clasped Jesus' feet and worshipped him after his resurrection. Again, he received it. Now stop and think about that. Peter wouldn't, angels wouldn't, but Jesus did. And this leads to a deeper question. Part 2. Why didn't Jesus rebuke them? Isaiah 42:8 says, "I am the Lord, that is my name. I will not yield my glory to another or my praise to idols." God is protective of his glory. He never shares it, not with angels, not with saints, not with kings. So if Jesus wasn't God, accepting worship would have been blasphemy. But he didn't stop them. Why? Because the glory belonged to him in the first place. Let's break this down. People sometimes say, "But Jesus never said, 'I am God.'" No. He said something even more explosive. In John 8:58, Jesus declared, "Before Abraham was, I am." He wasn't just saying he existed. He used God's name from Exodus 3:14, where God says to Moses, "Tell them I am has sent you." That's why the Jews picked up stones to kill him, because Jesus wasn't being poetic. He was claiming the divine name. Just remember that the clearest revelation is not always in English phrasing. It's in identity and actions. Jesus accepted worship. He forgave sins. He said he was the I am. He called God my Father in a way that made him equal to God. He didn't need to say, "I'm God." In a sentence, he showed it in everything he did. Part 3. The glory equation. If God says, "I won't share my glory with another," and Jesus receives glory, honor, and worship, what does that mean? It means Jesus was never another. He was and is God. John 1:1 says it plainly. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Then in verse 14, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. This is the mystery of the incarnation. The eternal God stepped into time, wrapped himself in human skin, and walked among his own creation. Part 4. The common objections and why they don't hold. Some say, Jesus prayed. If he's God, who is he praying to? Here's the thing. Jesus didn't stop being God. He added to humanity. Philippians 2 says he emptied himself and took the form of a servant. That doesn't mean he lost divinity. It means he submitted to the role of a human to fulfill the mission. Like an undercover king, he lived as one of us, obeyed the Father's will, and showed us how to live. He prayed, not because he wasn't God, but because he was showing us how to live in full dependence on God. And just remember that Jesus was modeling obedience, not weakness. Submission is not inferiority. It's power under control. Part 5. what it means for you. If you believe Jesus is God, then this shifts to true facts. It means God didn't stay far off, came close. He didn't just talk about love, became love in the flesh. He didn't send someone else to rescue you. He came himself. And it also means that when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father except through me. He isn't being exclusive. He's being honest. He's God, and He's the only way. What you just learned, no man or angel in the Bible accepted worship, but Jesus did. Jesus used divine names, forgave sins, and claimed glory, all things only God can do. Objections like Jesus prayed are answered by understanding the incarnation, not contradiction. Jesus wasn't a messenger. He was the message. He's God, and everything He said is true and worth following. If you believe Jesus was God on earth and is in heaven, then what does that mean for the Holy Spirit? Because before Jesus left, He said, I will not leave you as orphans. I will send the Helper, the Holy Spirit. So the next question is, who is the Holy Spirit? And if Jesus was God with us, then is the Holy Spirit God within us? That's what we'll dive into next. Also remember to like, share, and subscribe if this video was informative, as these videos take effort and you can support the channel by doing those 3 steps. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments section below. Grace, love, peace, and mercy.